Behold, behold, the wood of the cross, on which is hung our salvation. Oh, come, let us adore. Behold, behold, the wood of the cross, on which is hung our salvation. Oh, come, let us adore. Unless a grain of wheat shall fall upon the ground and die, it shall remain but a single grain, and not give life. Behold, behold, the wood of the cross, on which is hung our salvation. Oh, come, let us adore. And when my hour of glory comes, as all was meant to be, you shall see me lifted up upon a tree. Behold, behold, the wood of the cross, on which is hung our salvation. Oh, come, let us adore. For there can be no greater love shown upon this land than in the one who came to die, that we might live. Behold, behold, the wood of the cross, on which is hung our salvation. Oh, come, let us adore.
The first station. Jesus is condemned to death. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Christ by your cross has redeemed the world.
There you stand before the crowd after being beaten. You never deny yourself, yet humbly accept the punishment given to you by those who have witnessed your miracles. It's easy to look at this scene now and think, how could they have accused you and condemned you to death? All you did was love every person you met. Yet they are not alone in their condemnation of you. We are just as guilty of Jesus' death as the Jews were 2,000 years ago.
How often do I ignore you at school, the person no one wants to talk to? How often do my words condemn you in the way that I speak about others? It was not only the Jews and Pontius Pilate who condemned you, but I stand next to them, shouting just as loud, "Crucify him." Jesus, forgive me for the ways in which I condemn and pierce others with my words and actions. Help me to love like you and to learn from your example.
Were you there when they sentenced him to death? Were you there when they sentenced him to death? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble. Were you there when they sentenced him to death?
The second station. Jesus carries the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
As by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
By now, you have endured a sleepless night, betrayal by your friends, and a beating that is too horrible to fully imagine. You've been whipped, stripped, and spit on by countless faces, some of whom lastly treated you as royalty as you entered the city. And now they hand you a cross to carry. The weight of it is far more than any number of pounds we can figure. For in carrying the cross, you carry the weight of our sins. Jesus, your cross is so much heavier than ours. Yet without your strength helping us, we would not be able to lift our crosses.
How often do I forget that you have carried the load for me? How often do I try to carry things on my own, not allowing you to help me? It was not only the sin of the load that you carried. It was my sin, my selfishness, my pride, my anger. Each added more weight to the load. And it was not only my sin you carried, but also my burdens. My worries, my fears, my sadness, my insecurities. Each you carried step by step up towards Golgotha, my son's soul. Jesus, help me not to forget the load that you carry for me. Give me the strength and the courage to let go of those things that separate me from you.
Were you there when he lifted up the cross? Were you there when he lifted up the cross? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble. Were you there when he lifted up the cross?
The third station. Jesus falls for the first time. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
As you walk through the narrow streets, every moment, every jolt burns and reopens your wounds. The pain, along with the weight of the cross, becomes too much and you fall. In boxing, when a fighter falls and is too beaten to continue, the fight is stopped by the referee. Yet, there is no one there to stop the battle that you fight for us. Even though you know what still lies ahead, you do not stop. and somehow find the strength to continue.
How many times have I fallen in my walk? Too many to count, I'm sure. So many times when I fall, I don't feel like getting back up and trying again. There are too many temptations that I am faced with that feel too fun and easy to do because so many around me are doing them. Jesus, help me to remember your courage and perseverance when we fell. Give me the courage to get back up when I fall. Help me remember that it is worth it to live in you.
Were you there when he fell beneath its weight? Were you there when he fell beneath its weight? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when he fell beneath its weight?
The fourth station, Jesus meets his mother. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you, because
By your holy cross, you have redeemed the world.
amid all the shouts and jeers from the crowd that moved like a wave in your mind as you struggle to remain conscious, one voice stands out. At first, it is so faint that you wonder if it is real. But then, as your eyes meet and you see her face, you are not surprised that she is there for you. She has always been there for you. Her yes to the Father has been a light in the darkness. And now, here in your darkest hour, she is there.
There are so many times when I feel alone in my struggles. It seems that no one understands what I'm going through, especially my parents. But I realize they must. How many times have I hidden things from my parents out of fear of what they would say, or what trouble I would be in, when all they want to do is love me? Jesus, help me to remember that I am never alone in my struggles. Help me to see my parents as you saw yours. Help me know your love for me, and when things are hard between us, help me to remember the light of your mother and mine.
Were you there when his mother prayed with him? Were you there when his mother prayed with him? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when his mother prayed with him?
The fifth station. Simon helps Jesus carry his cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
By your holy cross, you have redeemed the world.
The soldiers who had beaten you all day had what appears to be a moment of compassion. Yet instead, their selfish motives override their opportunity for charity. They only want to follow their orders to get you up to the place where you will be crucified. How beaten you look, that they decide to grab Simon, a Cyrenian, out of the crowd to help you carry the cross. He follows behind you, walking in your steps, helping you move forward. You press on, knowing that the worst is yet to come.
How often do I pass up an opportunity to help someone in need? Do I let what others may think of me stop me from reaching out? How often have I laughed at someone who is willing to help others? Someone who is being extra nice or compassionate to someone. Jesus, open my ears to hear the ways that you call me to serve. Help me follow Simon's example of helping others. Help me to know what it means to be a true and faithful servant.
Were you there? Did you take the cross from him? Were you there? Did you take the cross from him? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble. Were you there? Did you take the cross from him?
The sixth station. Veronica wipes the face of Jesus. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
By now, the thorns cut so deeply into your head that even seeing where you should step next is almost impossible. Up to this point, all that approach you, other than your mother, either shout at you or spit in your face. As Veronica approaches, she walks differently than the others. As she reaches out her hands and wipes her face with her cloth, suddenly her face of compassion becomes clear. No words are necessary. Both your eyes say it all. For in that moment, your dignity as a man is restored.
How many times have I forgotten that each person is made in your image and likeness, and therefore deserves my respect? Do I make other objects of my pleasure and ignore their humanity? Veronica courageously stepped forward and dared to treat you differently than everyone else. Should I do the same? Jesus, help me to see your presence in others. Give me the courage to follow Veronica's example of treating others with love, even when no one else does. You rewarded Veronica by allowing the impression of your face to remain on her cloth. May you also allow the impression of your love to remain in our hearts as we help others in need.
Were you there when she wiped his bloody face? Were you there when she wiped his bloody face? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble.
because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
The soldiers are enraged at you for falling this time. They can't understand how Simon's help is not enough. In their anger, they hit you again and again before they remember that you have to be alive to be crucified. The beating stops, but the shouts and taunts become louder and harsher. At this moment, you can stop this. You are the Messiah and have the power to reveal yourself to everyone there. But you know that it would not fulfill all that is written about you. You know that you must be faithful to all of the Father's promises to his people. Remembering your love and your faithfulness, you will be able to get up again, and with your wounds full of dirt, and each step embedding it deeper, you will somehow be able to keep going.
How many times have I failed to show through on my promises? Or worse yet, how often have I lied even to people I care about? Do I remember your faithfulness, even when I fail? Jesus, help me to believe in your faithfulness and love me. Give me the grace to follow through on my word to others. Help me to be a person of integrity.
Were you there when he fell a second time? Were you there when he fell a second time? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble. Tremble, tremble. Were you there when he fell a second time?
The 8th station. Jesus meets the women of Jerusalem. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Their wailing sounds like a funeral. They cry and weep as if you are already dead. While air passes through your lungs and your heart still beats, to them, you are dead. They know you are on your way to be crucified. And because of the beating you have endured, you already look like you should not be breathing at all. Yet in this moment, consumed by death, you speak words of life and say, "Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me."
Do I listen to your words in my life? How often have the things I've watched or listened to made me away from you? So many times I feel out of control and upset by what's happening around me. How often do I look towards you, Jesus, and ask you for your strength to get me through the difficult times? Jesus, help me to listen in your words of love and life. Show me ways that I can put you first in my life.
Were you there when the women wept for him? Were you there when the women wept for him? Oh, sometimes
We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Again you fall, this time from sheer exhaustion. Only your will presses you forward, while your body refuses. How difficult it must be to be you, fully God and fully man. God knows that this has to be finished, and that it is not yet complete. Man feels excruciating pain, and every bone in your body wants to stop right here and move no further. Somehow, both will join together, and you will muster the strength to get up. You vow to not fall again, because now you can see the place they are leading you to. You know the end is close, and so you will press on.
How many times have I let my flesh rule over my spirit? How often have I chosen to sin rather than to follow your way? Was it my sin that became too heavy that you fell this third time? Jesus, help me to follow your ways. Help me remember your victory over my sin. Give me the grace to recognize when I sin and the desire to sin no more.
Were you there when he fell down yet again? Were you there when he fell down yet again? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when he fell down yet again?
The 10th station. Jesus is stripped of his garments. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
In some ways, to get to this point is a relief, because you know this is almost over. In other ways, it is terrifying, because you know the worst pain possible for man to endure is still waiting for you. By now, your bloody cuts have dried into your garments. Because of this, they act as a layer of skin for you, since so little of your own remains. As the soldiers strip you bare, it is not the nakedness that is painful, but rather the vicious tearing of your skin. The cuts that had closed now reopen, and once again a river of blood runs all over your body. You are stripped of your dignity as a man, where even animals are given a swifter, less painful death.
How often have I judged others by the way they look or what they are wearing? Do I remember that everyone was created in your image and likeness? Do I find my own self-worth and self-dignity by the clothes I wear and the way I look? Jesus, help me to look past the outside of others. Help me not to judge them by how they look or what they wear. Help me to find my self-worth and identity in you.
Were you there when they stripped him of his clothes? Were you there when they stripped him of his clothes?
The 11th station. Jesus is nailed to the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Lying down on wood is not foreign to you. The first place you were laid when you came into this world was a wooden manger. There you were laid in love. And now it is out of love that you lay here on this wooden cross. As you are nailed to this cross, we remember that the sins of all the world, including all of us present here today, helped to put you on this cross. The nails represent the sins of Harrison Hintz, Emily Kaczynski, Jasa Young, Matthew Zahm, William Sherman, Aaliyah Scarman, Preston Steyer, Allie Westerbaum, Sarah Schumacher, Parker James, Sidney Cook, Spencer Leary, Alyssa Craig, Braden Shallow, Keegan Sharkey, Olivia Soul, David Westenberg, Noah Dowsey, Andrew Bout, Jenna Hornblatt, Jaden Snyder, Anna Westerbaum, Jordan Belangi, Jaden Conlon, Madeline Johnson, Bryce Kane, Christian Cook, Annalise Caesar, Lincoln Kaczynski, Zach Sherman, Ellen Sir-Whitey, Jaden Stenstrup, Mitchell Kamala, Michaela Leonard, Joshua Maynard, Maggie Sir-Whitey, Iana Wyckoff, Brendan Zah, Cassie Curie, Alex Maynard, Dustin Olson, Aaron Shallow, Logan Netta, Olivia Rosowski, Allison Dufek, Ellie Finger, Adia Bulcher, Danielle Hoffman, Timothy Marquardt, Steve Meyer, Madison Harold, Lily Leary, Philip McKeefrey, Evan Olson, Aubrey Bouhet, Deanna Cushnet, Cora Benke, Grace Caesar, Kieran Westerback, Marcus Young, Noah Young, Brooklyn Sherman, Desiree Steyer, Trey Radzinski, Bryce Stenstrup, Macy Iparvier, Megan Hoffman, Aiden Westergaard, Tyler Westergaard, Rebecca Burke, Allison Buhager, Anna Hubacher.
While reflecting on the scene, I am so angry. I can't understand why they are doing this to you. And yet, what is the hardest to realize is that not only am I in the crowd watching all of this, but I'm also one of them nailing you to the cross. How many times has my sin become a strike of the nail into your body? Jesus, I'm sorry for nailing you to the cross with my own sin. Help me to seek your forgiveness and mercy for the times of your sin.
Were you there when they nailed him to the tree? Were you there when they nailed him to the tree? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they nailed him to the tree?
The 12th station. Jesus dies on the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
As died on the cross, you have redeemed the world.
Above your head is the inscription, King of the Jews. As you use every last ounce of life left in you to lift your body so you can speak, you do not look the part. Yet, every word out of your mouth is one of love, truly from another kingdom. The faces of all humanity must flash before your eyes as one by one you recount whom you are doing this for. And finally, you say, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. It is finished. You breathe your last, and it looks as though this is the end. Would everyone please kneel?
Jesus, help me never forget your love for me. Help me to know that you died for me. Fill me with your comfort in knowing that I never suffered anything you don't understand.
Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when
The 13th station. Jesus is taken down from the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
That's why your holy cross has redeemed the world.
The first arms that held you in this world are also the last. Your mother was told a sword would pierce your heart the day she presented you as an infant to the Father. Now, as she holds your body that is mangled beyond recognition, she sees not only the man she now holds, but also the child she held, and her heart is pierced. Your comfort to her will come, but in this moment she has only the Father to be with her in her sorrow and pain. All hope seems gone.
How many times have I lost hope in you? How often have I doubted your ability to be God in my life over all things? Jesus, help me to trust in you. Help me to place all of my hope in you. And give me peace in knowing that you are Lord over all things.
Were you there when the sun refused to shine? Were you there when the sun refused to shine? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when the sun refused to shine?
The 14th station. Jesus is placed in the tomb. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
That's why your holy cross has redeemed the world.
You are laid to rest by Joseph of Arimathea, Mary Magdalene, Mary your mother, and a few other women. As your body is anointed, Mary Magdalene remembers your eyes penetrating her heart. Tears stream down her face, along with the others there, as they too remember your love. They wrap your body in clean linens and lay it in a new tomb. The stone is rolled over the entrance, and now it surely is the end. Up to this point, death is final. While those who you have lived with, laughed with, and cried with are in their heightened sorrow, believing all is over, you are conquering sin and death.
How many times has death felt like the end? When I have lost a loved one, it can be so hard to remember your victory. How often do I miss the opportunities to say, I love you, to those special people in my life? Do my family and friends know how I feel about them? Jesus, help me to always remember that death is not the end. Give me the strength to say the words, I love you, to those people in my life that I do love. Help me to love every person, not just in words, but also in my actions. Jesus, I love you. Jesus, I need you. Jesus, I trust you.
Were you there when they laid him in the tomb?
creation. Jesus rises from the dead on the third day. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. Shalom, my friends. Shalom. Behold, I am with you still. My Father loves you as he has loved me. He has restored my life to me so that I can continue to live among you. I have risen now, and through the work of the Holy Spirit, I live in your minds and hearts. Each of your hearts is part of my heart. Each of your spirits is part of my spirit. I now live in you, and you live in me. Together, we must bring my Father's love to the whole world. I died so that you may live in this new and wonderful way. You must die to yourselves so that my love may live in your love and continue, and together we can build the kingdom of love to fill the earth. Do not lose heart. Remember, my Father said he would give you anything you ask for in my name. Do not be afraid. I will always walk at your side as your silent friend. Let us all look at the world with resurrection eyes. Where there is hatred, let us bring love. Where there is sorrow, let us bring joy. Where there is despair, let us bring hope. It will then be my joy to see the world through your eyes, to touch the world through your hands, and to love the world through your heart. Go out into the world and proclaim the good news to all, that my Father loves them, that I love them, and that I live in and through you. Spread the good news, be the good news, and behold, I shall be with you to the end of time.
All of our crosses, our pain, our sin are healed, forgiven and transformed. Christ is risen. Although his risen body bears the marks of his suffering, his pain is gone. Mourning turns into dancing, grief turns into joy, despair turns into hope, and fear turns into love. The eternal dance of a new life begins. Jesus, teach me to celebrate your resurrection in all that I do. Thank you for bearing the weight of the world on your body, and for teaching me by example that in all things I can overcome. Even in death, help me take that message to heart and proclaim it to my friends and family, not just at Easter,